The time has come. We are finally going to Madeira. This is the first time Sam and I have ever traveled internationally with our bikes. Let me tell you, the process of understanding how to get a mountain bike overseas without getting damaged, and actually even just shopping for a bike bag that can support a large enduro bike, was no easy feat. There's been a lot of anxiety and a lot of prep with this trip, but we are so excited to spend about 6 days in Madeira riding some of the best downhill tracks ever. Today's episode, we want to go over the actual logistics of packing and getting over to Madeira and give you guys a little bit of a taste of what we are going to be doing for the next few weeks. Enjoy. What do you need to mountain bike for 2 weeks overseas? Let's start with our bikes, obviously. Then let's get some safety equipment. I'm thinking chest protectors or full face helmet, knee pads, shoes, some goggles. Let's put our riding clothes in there. We're also bringing some windbreakers and rain jackets. Casual clothes so I can spend all of my free time walking around and trying coffee. And finally, some tools, because first off, we have to rebuild our bikes once we get to Madeira. We're thinking some torque wrenches, pressure gauges, a couple backup Allen keys. Luckily, we will be riding with a tour company, so we are under the assumption that they will have tools to support us as well. And finally, a set of backup tires in case we tear anything while we're out there, and of course, all of the media equipment so we can document our adventures and share it with you guys. Let's take a step back here though. Sam and I spent almost a week and a half prepping our bikes to make sure they were clean and prepared for 6 days of hard riding. The process of shopping for and picking out bike bags was not easy because they are really, really expensive, and we wanted to make sure we were making the right choice. Also, understanding the logistics of getting to a small island off the coast of Africa with a bunch of equipment was pretty difficult. We want to take you guys through the steps of some of our logistical planning and mechanical planning to make sure that this trip is a success.
Before we leave for our trip, I got a whole list of things I want to do to the bike. Make sure it's just performing the best it can, doesn't give any problems during the time. But the first thing I always like to start with is a good wash for any maintenance. Takes out any of the weird noises that you don't then have to chase down because it was just a piece of dirt. Besides just the better for maintenance aspect, we're also traveling to an island, and islands have pretty fragile ecosystems, so we want to do our best to be good stewards and not introduce any invasive species. I know that that's a big thing for sure in New Zealand, but we always want to be good stewards of the environment, so another big reason we need to give the bike a good wash. For this trip, sent in to Fox, and you got to give them credit. They said, hey, it's a 2022. We don't want any of those out there anymore. Even though it wasn't any problems, they just sent me a brand new shock, didn't even ask, didn't charge me anything. Fantastic service from those guys. It also gave me a chance then to take apart the headset, re-grease that, get everything running well up there. So suspension service, that was number one thing to take care of. Tire life still looks really good, so we're not going to be swapping those. But what I am going to do is put some more sealant in. I don't think Madeira is particularly known for pointy rocks, but I don't want to be stuck on the side of the trail, and I'm no longer running inserts with these tires, so we're just going to put some sealant in and make sure we don't have to deal with a flat. Madeira is going to be a lot of days of heavy downhill, so just want to take a look and make sure we've got adequate pad life. Those are looking pretty good. I think that'll last long enough for this trip. Lastly, we're just going to go through, torque check everything. Obviously, I'm going to have to do a pretty heavy disassembly to get this into the bike bag, and I'll kind of document that process as well. But everything that I can, I'll just torque check here at home. I'll be fine with torque wrenches to reassemble everything, but we'll do what we can at home and just make sure everything's good and tight still.
This was our first time actually packing our bikes for this trip. We did do a practice pack just to make sure the bikes would fit in the bag, but we didn't spend too much time filming this to high quality because we were very focused on making sure we could do this correctly. But you basically just take the wheels off, mount it onto the frame. We removed the derailleurs and our pedals so they wouldn't obviously bust off in transit. We also do end up removing our handlebars and things like brakes and shifters to make sure they don't crack off during transport as well. We did also end up wrapping our bikes in a bunch of our spare clothes just to make sure our frames were very protected.
I don't think I can put into words just how anxious flying my bikes makes me. So I bought the biggest pipe insulation I could find. I'm going to try to protect the stanchions, the seat stays, chain stays, probably the dropper, everything I can.
I want to show you guys why it was so anxiety inducing to try to pick a bike bag. So for reference, I'm riding with a large Commensal Clash 27.5 and Sam is riding a large Giga 29-inch wheelbase. I don't consider our bikes excessively long. However, they barely fit in this bag. I mean, look at this. From the back end of the rear triangle, it's butting up against this, and the frame itself, we have pushed as far end to end on each side. Further, the stack on our bikes, and honestly, even look at Sam's stack, it's not that high. We're hitting the top of this bag. So for reference, my wheelbase on my Commensal Clash is about 1,265 millimeters. You look at a bike like a large Transition Sentinel, or even just like a standard downhill bike, their wheelbase is a little bit longer, and it would be probably close to impossible to get a large downhill bike into one of these bags. So like, check out my stem for reference. My stack is a little bit higher, but I literally had to loosen my stem and turn it around because otherwise it wouldn't fit in the bag because the bag was too short. So crazy. We're both 6 feet tall and we do ride large frames, but like, I don't think I'm an excessively tall person. I think it's crazy that it's almost impossible to fit large mountain bikes in a standard bike bag. I think we're all packed up. And actually it doesn't look that bad. We had an absolute mess in our living room, but we were able to get it into one big duffel, a couple backpacks, and our bags. Let's get on this plane.
So we're just getting our steps in. We're here in just outside Payson.
2 hours from Phoenix.
Just stretching the legs. Stretching the legs, and we ran across this little guy on our walk. Oh wait, I lost him. There he is, there he is, there he is. Hello.
Alright, Sam dropped me off at the airport and we took all of our baggage out of the van. He's taking it to long-term parking. So I'm chilling here before we check in. Alright, let's go put these bags. Let's go get them checked. Okay, we've officially put our bikes, like, we've checked them in. The anxiety is great. I did ask for a fragile. I asked for a fragile tag on them, and they did give it to me though, so obviously the bikes will be great. So, bye babies, we'll see you in London. We love you. All right, we got all of our bags. We're taking the train to get to Gatwick. We have to transfer airports in London. Okay, we got off our first train. How much was it to get tickets from Heathrow to Gatwick via trains?
£77.
For 2 of us?
Yeah.
That's not too bad, right? Otherwise, what, a taxi?
185.
And was that going to be a taxi that would take our bikes?
I pointed out all their bags,
Yeah.
so he said yeah.
Okay, so this was a lot cheaper. And this
This is a lot cheaper, and it's like super chill.
This is super chill.
Like, he printed me out a little like list of the trains I needed, and just gonna follow it.
10 out of 10. We were traveling across London for probably about 4 hours by the time we got to Gatwick. And we actually put our bags, we checked our bags in basically 24 hours before our flight, so we didn't have to haul our bike bags to our hotel. One cool thing is that we actually haven't spent a penny on baggage fees yet for our bikes or our overweight duffel, which I don't know if that is standard or not, but we're not asking any questions. We're just happy that we've avoided probably close to $400 in bag fees at this point.
So far.
So budget-wise, how much has this trip cost? And I'm thinking flights, apartment, logistics, how's it gone?
Okay. Probably 10 when you add up everything.
Okay. So it's not cheap to go on a holiday with your bikes.
Not at all.
Where's this cost coming from?
Well, we did pretty decent with the flights. I think we only spent $1,000 each to fly, and that's why we kind of got some weird layovers and whatever. But I think we're in a phase of our lives that we have more time than money.
Yeah.
So we're happy to have the adventure. So yeah, a couple thousand to fly, and then there's some hotels mixed in there. Actually, with free ride Madeira's 11,040 euros, which we got boned with the exchange rate now is like 122 to a dollar. So
How much was free ride Madeira?
1140 euro.
Oh, 1,100. Okay.
So that's
I thought Sam spent $12,000 on guiding. It's only 1,100.
no. So that's probably 1,400 or 1,500.
And then our apartment was
Apartments,
1,800.
Like 1,800.
We also
euro,
bought
probably.
bike bags.
So bought the bike bag.
$1,400 there.
Yeah.
So it's adding up. Yeah.
It adds up fast.
I mean, we're budgeting obviously like food, and we want to enjoy our time in Portugal. We're not going to be cheap about it, but I think it's not unrealistic for an international bike trip to cost at least $10,000 for a couple. I don't really see how we could make this any cheaper. We flew economy, you know, we got an apartment. We're not staying at a resort. We're going to cook a lot of our own meals, but it just adds up. So definitely not something we're going to be probably doing every year to this extent, but we're super happy to be kind of in it right now.
We're here.
We're waiting for our bags.
Waiting for the bikes.
For the bikes, yeah, you're right. We have this big thing, which I think
Here.
we've come to really hate this bag, but it's holding all of our
hefty.
helmets, all of our gear, but Lord knows that thing weighs just under 50 pounds.
Just under 50 pounds.
Horrible.
On one shoulder.
Let's get our bikes. We're gonna get ourselves to our apartment and go grab some groceries too. See you guys. Okay, so one of the perks of hiring a tour service in a week is while we're here, one of the things that we get is airport transfer with our bags, which is really nice to guarantee that we have a car that's big enough to fit our bike bags. So they're gonna be able to take us to our apartment and we won't have to worry about a thing. Okay, I have to do an apartment tour because it's super cute. We're down this little street in through the screen door. And we got ourselves a little 3-story apartment. So we should have a bike staging area and a kitchen to cook all of our yummy food. So let's go.
Hey, Julia,
Tell me.
come see the gondola.
I'm coming.
It just went by.
Oh my gosh. Wow, look at how cute this is. This is so cute, my goodness. We have a great patio. Look at our patio. Wow. Oh my goodness.
There's the station.
Do we remember the Portuguese word for gondola?
No,
Teleférico.
which doesn't sound like gondola at all.
We made it. We've officially made it to Madeira. Considering we had 3 days of travel, it actually wasn't that bad. The flights were super easy. All of our stuff got here with no damage. Super excited to lay low for the rest of the day, and also so excited to get on the trails tomorrow. Check out our video next week. We will actually be riding again. We'll see you guys then. Totally tried to hit it. I didn't make it. Beautiful trap.